Jane Velez Mitchell, Jane Unchained Live Talk. We're so honored to have the one and only amazing Koya Webb with us today. Koya, how you doing?
I'm so good. I'm feeling good. I'm grounded. I'm reflecting on, what I want to accomplish during this time. And yeah, I want to share it with the people.
Well, first of all, I noticed while we were setting up, you were drinking a fabulous drink. You are super healthy. Tell us what's in it.
So this is my superfood protein shake, and I have a half a cup of raspberries. I have 3 bananas. I have Irish moss, which has 92 of the 102 minerals that you need in your body. And I have my vanilla and moringa protein. So I drink this at least one a day, 32 ounces of it. And I think it's really important right now that we boost our immune systems. I drink this all the time. I feel like the importance of people boosting their immune system at this time is really great because we need to do it all the time. Just eating healthy, eating plant-based, making sure we have high energy. So I love that a lot of people want this recipe now, and a lot of people are, just knowing the importance of minerals and nutrients and proteins, carbohydrates and fat, and knowing that they need it in their bodies. And so I'm really excited just to be a holistic health coach and just helping people get their health in order.
Yes, and you have written 2 books. This one is incredible. I have it. I've looked at it, read quite a bit of it. Let Your Fears Make You Fierce. I love that. And let's talk a little bit about your other book as well, which is about cuisine. So as we are in isolation, you're in isolation, I'm in isolation, we can use this isolation time as a time of transformation. And, what occurred to me when I was thinking of talking to you is that often people go out of their way to self-isolate when they want to transform, whether it's the Benedictine monks or Buddhist monks or people just trying to reassess their lives. They often retreat, to a sanctuary, to a place where they can meditate and figure out what they want to do with their lives, how they want to change it. And so what nature has done is forced us all to cocoon, and we can use this as a time for transformation. You're a transformer. Tell us about that.
One thing, I wouldn't say what nature has done. I would say what man has done. But I feel like it is a beautiful time for transformation. And I like to consider it a staycation. And so while we're staying at home, while we're following the rules, I feel like taking this time to reflect and go within and really reflect on, how can I be the best version of myself? And what are ways that I can be more creative? What are ways that I can be, shine my own light? And a lot of people, we look outside of ourselves for purpose, but now we have this opportunity to look within. And that's where our true purpose comes from. So I feel like when you just let all the fear go, let all the noise go, even let all the reasons why go, and just go within and focus on, in this moment, how can I shine my best light? How can I love myself? How can I love others? How can I love humanity? You will start getting some answers. I've gotten those answers. I've been pouring into myself more than I ever have before. And I'm more connected to myself than I've ever been, more connected to my friends and family than I've ever been, and more connected to humanity, like doing lives every day in the morning. And so I feel like that's what can happen if we stop worrying about all the noise outside and go within.
So tell us, when you say be our best selves, I know that you focus a lot on food. And again, we'll pop up that book, Koya's Cuisine, as well as Let Your Fears Make You Fierce. You're drinking a superfood drink. Tell us about your diet and what you're eating while you're here in isolation, meditation, transformation. Because you're a very good example. If somebody was saying, I could either sit in front of the couch and eat a bunch of junk food and walk out worse at the end of this, or I could use this time that I'm cocooning to transform. Give us an example. Show us the path of what you eat.
I feel like you know, especially in the morning, as soon I feel like getting 6 to 8 hours in sleep is so important right now. Like you want to be healthy. Again, everything that I'm suggesting, I think you should do it now, but I totally think you should live like this all the time. In my book, before all this happened, I shared these same exact tips. So understand that this is a lifestyle, but you can practice it now that we've been forced to slow down. It's a great time to practice it and say, and not say, I don't have enough time or I don't have the resources, because everyone has everything they need within their home. There are tons of programs online. There's tons of free courses. Everyone's pouring right now. So there's no excuse. So I feel like 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And then I start my day with lime water. I call it dirty water. So I just take my water, I squeeze a lime or a lemon in there. A key lime is best. I eat good, better, and best. So good is a lemon, better is a lime, best is a key lime. Key lime is non-hybrid. And so we squeeze that in there. That's going to help detox the liver in the morning. Warm, room temperature water with your lime, and then put a little pinch of cayenne, which is going to help break up any mucus and just clean your body out in the morning. Once you break a fast, which is what breakfast really is, you want to break it with water first. Now, after that water, I usually do my practice. And then after my practice, I usually have a superfood smoothie, and I share the ingredients with that. And then right now I'm kind of a mini intermittent fasting, which means I'm eating one big meal a day, because I'm doing a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work for myself, for humanity. And so I'll have one big meal. Usually I have a complex carbohydrate, which is quinoa, lentils, or chickpeas. I love eating things that sprout. My chickpeas, I even have chickpea pasta, chickpea lasagna, using lentils. There's so many beautiful ways that we can, really use chickpeas, lentils, and quinoa to make different things that we're used to. So I do that. I do a green. So I put a green in my smoothie. I usually have a green with every meal, even when I have 2 meals a day. And usually I have a big salad and then I have dinner. But now I just kind of have that all at once. Sometimes I have an extra meal, and usually it's a big salad. And then I like to have peppers. I think vitamin A is really important right now. So I like red peppers, sweet potatoes, I like making curry. I like all the things. I love to eat. So just one meal, I eat whatever I want to eat. Every now and then I have some ice cream at night, or
What
I'll
kind
have
of ice cream?
huh?
What kind of ice cream?
Well, I was eating Coco Bella. Have you had Coco Bella?
Oh yeah, it's a vegan ice cream.
It's a vegan ice cream, 100%. I've been vegan for 15 years. June 25th, I celebrated when we were in our staycation already, or house arrest. I was actually, after we had already gotten on lockdown, I went to Coco Bella because they're still delivering at this time. So you can order, and then you can get it delivered to you. So I got the moose tracks and the mango, and it's so good. So I feel like, every now and then I have ice cream, every now and then I have chocolate. It's not like 100% the cleanest vegan diet, but it's mostly clean. I'll have like a Go Macro bar here and there or whatever I want, but mostly I eat very, very healthy, very clean.
Let me ask you a question, because people talk about salads. It's always a question of what do you put on the salads. Yesterday, I made a salad with tahini, and it was gorgeous and it was great. But then I looked at the ingredients, and it was huge amounts of ingredients per tablespoon, and I had probably put like a lot on the salad. So what do you do to have a delicious salad that's not like a huge calorie or fat?
I love that you asked that question, because salads are really funny. And a lot of people put a lot of oil or oil-based dressings on their salads. And I do that occasionally, but my favorite salad is called a dirty kale salad. You can Google it, Dirty Kale by Koya, and you can see me. I take an avocado, I massage the kale with avocado and Bragg's liquid immunos and a lime or a lemon. And I actually put avocado on my salad. And there's another like honey mustard dressing I make with mustard and a little maple syrup and a little lime juice. So I really try not to use as much oil on my salads, and I really coat. I love using avocado. I love using making my own dressings with just lemon juice or lime juice, and then I just blend my own cashews or walnuts. So you can make your own dressings, but you don't want more than a tablespoon, max 2 tablespoons of dressing. Once you've drenched your whole salad, then it's probably too much oil for one sitting. So anytime you can use and get healthy fats from the actual source, like the nut, the seeds, versus oil, you're going to have a healthier salad dressing. So I would say make your own salad dressings, make it out of avocado or your own nuts and seeds, and it's going to be better for you, and it's going to taste great. So you just put water, the nut and seed, a little bit of lemon or lime juice, and whatever seasonings you want, and you got your own salad dressing.
That's a great idea. Now, in terms of psychological, emotional, spiritual, you've covered the food, and you're in incredible shape, and you've written books about food. But for a lot of people, I think it's gotten to that point where now we're at whatever week. I mean, sometimes I don't even know what day it is. But
Right.
But we're working very hard here at Jane World Headquarters, Jane Unchained, aka my apartment. But some people are getting very, very feeling very stuck, feeling trapped. I don't particularly feel that way. I've had moments, but generally my anxiety is more from avoiding people when I walk my dogs. I really get freaked out when these joggers come out of nowhere with their droplets, and so what advice would you give people to stay cool, calm, and collected, to stay emotionally, on the spiritual beam and emotionally centered? I've had moments of anger and frustration regarding, you said this is man-made. I don't know what you were referring to, but it started in a slaughterhouse with the abuse of animals. To me, that's a very frustrating thing that we are trying to connect the dots. Now, we just did a live report with a union worker who represents thousands of workers who are slaughterhouse workers who are coming down with the coronavirus. And she said 3 of them has died, and there's others who are hospitalized. And so it seems like, what's obvious to me, that the abuse of animals, particularly in the food system, whether it's in China or here in the United States, is at the heart of this problem, and it's the key solution. Everything you described was plant-based and sound delicious. So that is pretty much the apex of my frustration when I get frustrated. It's not so much, oh, I can't go outside, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's more of interacting with people who I feel don't get it, aren't using this time to maybe self-reflect, who might consider themselves mere victims when they might be more participants. And so that is pretty much when I get aggravated and have to, sometimes apologize because I get frustrated and don't you see what's happening? That kind of thing. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with well, first of all, what did you mean when you said man-made, and how do you deal with it?
Well, as you mentioned, at first you mentioned that nature is giving us a timeout. I feel like it's more of cause and effect. Like you mentioned this situation that happened in the slaughterhouse. Other people mentioned just situations that are happening in the government. There are a lot of situations that are happening worldwide that are not in alignment with love and love consciousness. And when you have all of that going on, this is the effect. That's what I mean by man-made versus nature. It's not that nature's cleansing. If you look at it, you can look at it like that. But I feel like if we don't take responsibility and acknowledge like what we have as humans are doing, like what you mentioned, like things that we can do better. We can do better with the way we treat animals. We can do better with the way we treat our planet. We can do better with the way we treat each other. And I think there's a lot of sickness, narcissism, and gaslighting that's going on where people are just, really not being mindful and just worried about themselves and not humanity. And it causes what we're experiencing now. And when you ask me how I deal with it is I just go within and I ask, how can I use my voice doing interviews like this, giving people tips, and tapping when my anxiety gets really high. Like I do EFT or tapping, and I, share with people different apps and stuff that I use on my website for tapping. I do breath work. Breath work is really important. Just take a deep breath and breathe, because breath is spirit. And the thing is, there's fear and there's love. If we are love, if we are light, and we're in that love vibration, we can make a change. We can make it different. But if we're in fear, which is anxiety, which is compacted fear, we can't be as beneficial. So whenever I feel myself going there, I remind myself, Koya, you're not beneficial in fear. You're not beneficial in anger. So as soon as you can calm down, breathe, you can take action and then move forward as an activist and do things that can make change, like sharing things on my social media that can shed light on some of the disparities going on around the world, talking with you about, the things that are happening. Like, I don't think it's necessary to consume animal for us to thrive. And I think, yes, it is hurting people. Yes, it is hurting planets. And that's something we need to reflect on while we're at home in meditation. And I also think there's too much radiation in the world. And yes, there are towers being built, and we're just adding more and more and more of that in the world. And that's not good. And yes, I do feel like the government is 100% corrupt. I say 100%. The government is corrupt. The world is corrupt. We have corruptness in the world. And I believe we are the change. I believe acknowledging it is the first step. It's there and it's wrong. And the second step is saying, what can I do to make a difference? And I feel like when you empower yourself by making a difference, it really does make you feel, it makes me personally feel more balanced. But if I were just sitting around and not doing anything, I think I would be more frustrated. And I think a lot of people are frustrated because they don't know what to do. And right now, we are being forced, to, be at home and be under this house arrest, this staycation. And it's one thing when you go inward on your own, but it's another when you're being forced to. And then looking behind it, you're like, wait a minute, that's not fair. That's not right. So I feel like for those reasons, even though it's not right, just like look at Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was put in prison. What did he do in prison? He's a prime example. He sat there, what was it, 37 years, and meditated and went within, and he came out and changed the world. But he was changing the world within first, and he removed all that, and he did his forgiveness work. So that's who I'm thinking about. That's who I want to be. That's who I want to represent. And I want to love even the people that are doing these really negative things. I want to love on them. And I want to love on them so hard that they change their minds and they understand that this is not the way. And I feel like it starts with us loving ourselves, loving our families, connecting, and then we can make a difference. We can make a change. But the change starts with us at home, reflecting and going within.
I love it. You have some very, very important wisdom to dispense to all of us. It seems like you're handling this beautifully, and you are, very centered. Now, when you said breath work, what is that?
So breath work there are different types of breath work. There can be like the 3-part breath, which is just inhale, hold the breath, and exhale. I do it every morning, 8 a.m. free class on my live on my Instagram. And
just tell us what your handles are, just so we know, so people can.
My Instagram is Koya Webb, at Koya Webb, KoyaWebb, and my website is koyawebb.com.
Got it.
Yeah. I also have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, where I'm sharing holistic health information on all these platforms so people can go on their favorite platforms and find me. I also have the Get Loved Up podcast, where I'm sharing information about how to boost your immune system, lower your stress at this time. Because I feel like once you boost your immune system, lower your stress, and go within, you can come from a healthy place. But if you're sick, and those people out there that are sick or their family sick, it does bring up more fear. So the biggest thing I could do right now is keep people healthy and keep stress down, so that we can actually have a conversation and talk about what's going on and then what we want to do about it as a community.
And you were saying that anxiety is compressed fear. Tell me about that.
Compounded fear. So fear on top of fear on top of fear on top of fear. So anxiety comes with, breath work helps you relieve fear. So breakthrough breathing is something deeper than just the three-part breath or breath of fire. Breakthrough breathing, it's also called holotropic breathing. It's breathing in a way that you oxygenate your cells and it helps release toxins, release trauma, and release stress. I just started doing, I've done it before a couple of times, but I just got certified in teaching it last year, and it has changed my life. It has changed the game. It's deeper than tapping. It's deeper than the regular breath work I learned when just becoming a yoga teacher. And it really does help with trauma. And stuff has been coming up for me personally, childhood stuff, childhood trauma, judgment against myself, like insecurities. And I'm just breaking through all that by doing the breath work. And I journal a lot, free writing a lot, getting all those emotions out. Because once I do it for myself, then I can hold space for others. Once we hold space for others, that's when we start to change the world, like one person at a time.
Wow. So I like your attitude because you're saying essentially this is like an opportunity. Like every so often when people have vacations for a couple of weeks, I know I have friends that go to a spa, where they eat right, eat extra right, and they're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables and brown rice and green vegetables, and they're simplifying their life. They're exercising a lot. They're doing meditation, and you pay for that. Well, now it's all happened to us. We're here. All of a sudden, we could look at this as a spa retreat meditation time to really clean house internally. I've already done some spring cleaning, took some clothes that I don't use very often, said I'm going to put these in a box and give it to people who need these clothes when this is done. But that's physical spring cleaning. We can also do internal spring cleaning. And there's the diet, there's the breathing. What about exercise? You're in great shape. You're a health coach, and you also do yoga classes. How are you doing exercise during this time? And do you ever suffer from laziness to exercise? I'm speaking as a personal question.
I definitely think that, movement is important every single day. And I wake up in the morning and I teach breath work, meditation, and movement. Monday through Sunday. So I'm always doing some basic movement every day. I don't always do like my hour-long or 2-hour-long yoga practice. And for me, that's lazy because I know the more practice that I do, the better I feel. So, but I do something every day. And I feel like if everyone did 10 minutes of something, one thing that I do at the end of my morning lives is I do a little dance, just dancing around to your favorite music, or whether it be yoga or going outside for a walk or doing fitness in your home, whatever you do, when you move your body, it's going to boost your energy. You're going to release positive, happy endorphins. You're going to reduce your levels of cortisol. You are going to feel better. And that blood flow also helps push out toxins and push out acidity in the lymphatic system. So we got to understand, like, massage, self-massage, movement is part of who we are. It's in our DNA. We're not meant to be stagnant. And I know it's easy to just sit at home. I don't have a TV. That saves me because I know I'd be watching TV all the time. When I do get in front of a TV, I'm like watching with my friends, and I get enthralled by it because I'm not used to it. So, but because I don't have a TV, I'm actually researching and I'm reading books, and I'm, just becoming knowledgeable about what's happening and what's going on. I have more time to reflect. I have more time to write books and write, what I'm thinking about. I have an online yoga teacher training where I'm teaching people how to become holistic health coaches and yoga teachers so that we can change the world, because one person can't do it. It's going to take all of us taking that responsibility. So yeah, movement is important. I feel like when you move your body, you're moving your mind, you're clearing out all that stagnant negative energy, you're boosting your immune system, and you're just going to feel better. You're going to be able to be at your ideal weight if you're doing some type of movement every day.
I'll be honest with you. I started walking the dogs, and I have a little cart that I take them in, and I stopped because even though I walk them now, it's more like I look like somebody out of a spy movie with my goggles and my mask and trying to avoid the joggers and the bikers in this neighborhood, because the irony is a lot of them are not observing the 6 feet rule. Okay. People who are walking are pretty much observing it. But then I read an article that said when people are exercising, they're even more prone, if they have the coronavirus, to have their droplets spray for up to 23 feet. So I decided, even though I was enjoying the walks, that it was too dangerous, really. I'm never going to look back at a month and say, oh my God, I didn't take walks. But I do not want to, it's too much anxiety producing to go out and see bikers come right by you like this. And it's like 6 feet. Okay, where's the 6 feet? And they somehow think in their mind, because they're moving fast, that they don't have to do the 6 feet. But the truth is they need to do 23 feet. Okay,
well,
joggers need to do 23 feet. Their droplets they're leaving a trail of droplets. Go ahead.
But I feel like they were doing that before, and they were riding their bikes before. And I feel like it really hurts my heart that we're in so much fear now of one another, that like someone yelled at me the other day because I didn't have a mask on, like I was going to infect them with something that I don't even have. And it was hurtful to me because it's my own personal decision. But I get it, because we're in such this fear state that if a person doesn't have a mask, or if a person breathes on me, they're going to contaminate me. And that is a huge fear state when we don't even know if someone has anything. People have colds all the time. People have flus all the time. People have these things all the time.
A large percentage of the people are asymptomatic. And one of the reasons why it's spreading is that people who are asymptomatic are going around, and because they feel fine, they're assuming they're fine, but they are completely asymptomatic, and they're spreading it to other people who then get sick, depending on their age, their health, whether they have diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and various other issues that make them more prone to get very ill if infected with coronavirus. So go ahead. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Sometimes, in my opinion, fear is necessary. And while I don't want to offend anyone, I'm not getting next to anybody. And if these joggers come at me, I run the other way, literally.
Well, I feel like everyone is entitled to feel how they feel and proceed accordingly. But I would hope that you would, with your mask and goggles, feel safe, that you can go and walk your dog and make sure your immune system is boosted. And if you feel a tickle in your throat, like I have on my blog, ways to boost your immune system. If you feel like you're getting sick, things you can do to make sure that it doesn't, affect you in any negative way. So what hurts me is that people don't even feel like they can do natural activities or go outside. And there was times when I went outside, and when I did without my mask, and I felt the air was more compromised. And then when I wore it, I felt a little bit better, mostly because my neighbors smoke, my neighbors smoke. I want them to stop smoking. Okay. I'm more concerned with their smoking than Roro V. I even say Roro V. I don't like saying the other word. It's just got just bad juju energy on it. So I say Roro V, but I would more complain about the smoking. But like I said, I respect everyone's position and how they feel. I just feel like that we have to come from a place of love and connection. And if you're choosing not to go outside because in this moment you don't want to be around other people because of your health, then I feel like that is your decision. And based on that decision, there's some amazing things you can do inside to keep your fitness up. And so I would do yoga or do fitness, or, maybe walk your dog around sunset when it's less people, or find a time of the day early in the morning or late at night when it's less people, so that if you do want to go outside, that you feel safe.
Do you have classes on your YouTube?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you have yoga. We could do yoga with Koya Webb, right? Go to Koya Webb YouTube. That's all you have to do. And you will be able to find your classes. I urge everyone to check out the books. Let your fears make you fierce. And here's another one, Koya's Cuisine. You are an amazing vegan activist. health coach, author, all around dynamo. And I'm just so thrilled to have you on. And thank you so much for sharing some really incredible tips. I mean, you know, I'm definitely going to apply some of those. And I think I'm going to check out your YouTube videos and do some stretching with you.
And check out my blog. I want you to check out the blog and see the things that I'm doing to boost my immune system and lower stress. I think that can really help everyone, you and everyone on your team. Just feel safe. Feel safe at all times, especially at this time with this pandemic going around. I feel like safety is the most important. And because once you feel safe, that's in your root chakras. We didn't get into chakras, but I teach about the chakras in my book, Your Spiritual Energy Center. But if you don't feel safe, it's hard to really go within and get your divine alignment towards what you're supposed to do. So to feel safe, you want to boost your immune system, lower your stress, and then move from that place.
Thank you, Koya Webb. You are fantastic. I love your advice. I'm going to make one of those smoothies, and I will be stretching. And stay safe. I love you, and we'll talk soon.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Thanks.